All right, so go ahead and step to the back of the mat. Open your feet about hip distance apart. Start to really feel into the mat beneath you. Let yourself ground for a moment and see if you can imagine just the weight of the world, like just rolling off your shoulders, just dripping off your shoulders down your back and just sort of relaxing down into the heels. Let a little weight move into the heels. Let the head come up over your tailbone and just stand for a moment. Start to feel the feet push down and out so you get a tiny bit of weight into your pinky toes. And we want the feet straight, so everything we do is deliberate. Yeah, that's it. And as we start to awaken the feet, we start to also feel like there's energy in the legs. So the arches of the feet lift, the weight shifts a little toward the pinky toes, but then let's start to lift up from the quadriceps. So we have the weight of the world melting down our back, but we have some energy rising in the front. The belly lifts, the chest lifts. Yeah, you can even feel it as the head rises. We want to lift through the crown of the head, but with everything in yoga, there's a balance. Not everything rises, right? There's a rooting and a rise. And so when we move today, I want you to be looking for sensations where we really touch down and we feel the solid earth beneath our feet, but then we also rise into this beautiful air and atmosphere that is around us. And somehow we find a buoyancy within our own body. It comes from the pelvic floor, it comes from the lower belly, and that part of us rises. We support ourselves from the inside. And so as we take a moment here and we find that, I'm going to continue to circle back. And so as we move through the poses, we can find that again. Yeah? All right, take a deep breath. Let's reach our arms up. More energy rising, so push down through your feet. Good. Exhale, forward fold. Nicely done. We might feel a little bit of sensation here as we take that first bend of the morning. Stay for a moment. Let your head down. And then slowly walk your hands over to your right ankle. Pull the head toward the right shin. See if you can do that without moving your hips too much, so that you can actually feel left hip pulling back as the head pulls to the right shin. We're just going to open up a little bit across the lower back. And then do the same to the other side, just softly walking over to the other ankle. Right hip stays back as the head moves toward the left shin. Yeah, and it's just an opportunity to kind of notice, is there something going on with you today? Is it the same old stiffness, or is there anything new? And then we return to the center. Let's lift halfway. Inhale, and then fold on the exhale. I always find that so interesting. Lift your head and chest. Let's reach our arms all the way up. And then hands come to the heart center. Inhale, arms reach again. Nice. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway on the in-breath. Let's walk it out into plank. So assistance in plank, you want to look for hands under shoulders. You want to look for a good bend in the toes. The belly button in so the hips aren't hanging low. If you see anyone's hips sagging, you may be able to give them a touch and let their hips rise as high as their shoulders. Yeah, take another breath right here. And then you can put your knees down. And then we lower the chest forward and down. All the way down onto the belly. Beautiful. Inhale for cobra pose. Just taking it slow. Lots of people still coming in. That's it. Cobra on the inhale. And then we make our way to our first downward facing dog on your exhalation. Hips high, head low. And here we're looking for alignment, right? We're not looking for any exploitation of flexibility. Maybe we look for some action in the legs, right? A pull back maybe on the quads. Take one more breath here. No conversation, right? And then look forward, walk our feet to our hands. Yeah, lift halfway, inhale. Fold deeply, exhale. With a flat back, we rise all the way up. Lift the head and chest. Let's reach high to the sky. And then pull the hands into the heart. Beautiful. Inhale again, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway on the in-breath. Let's go to plank and lower on the same exhalation. All the way to the belly. Inhale for cobra pose. And then exhale back into downward facing dog. That's it. Take a few breaths here. Shabbat shalom. All right. 2 more breaths. Pushing back just a little bit, activating the legs, feeling how the hands and feet are touching down on that earth energy, but the hips are rising high. And then when you're ready, you look at your hands. Let's walk our feet right up to the top of the mat. Bring the feet together, please. And then lift halfway, inhale. Fold deeply on the exhale. All right, bend your knees, sink your hips. Here comes chair pose. Yeah. We want to sit back in the heels. Try to find some congruency here, some balance between how much you stick out your tailbone or your ribs, and see if you can draw them in a little bit. Yeah, everybody looks pretty good here. We do a lot of chair, I guess, huh? Push through your feet. Come on up. Reach for the sky. And then bring your hands right to your heart. All right. Pause for a moment here and just breathe. I'm feeling like this moment is asking me to tell you, to inspire you to remember that we are at a very auspicious moment in time. In the last 24 hours, not only have we come into summer solstice, which is the longest, brightest day of sunshine, right? But we also have just had full moon, and yesterday was International Yoga Day. There's a lot of celebration going on, right? Just this moment in time, a celebration of the light, a celebration of this practice. And just before we go any further, I just want you to take a moment and just celebrate in your heart, like just how grateful are you for this practice? The idea that it's been around for thousands of years, and somehow right here in 2024, we gather in this park to do this practice that comes from the ancients. It comes from a different land, a different culture, and here we are weekly gathering community, healing, growing, expanding our consciousness. So just take a moment right here. Remember the value of this practice. Remember what gets you out of bed on a Saturday morning to come here to do this practice, and know that you are part of bringing it forward and carrying it on for generations to come. Right? There are more people on the planet right now than any other time doing yoga. That's pretty freaking amazing. And we are part of that. I am sure there are millions of people in this moment standing in Tadasana just like we are, all over this country, all over this planet. Know that what we do is part of something bigger. Yeah. Stand tall into that. And then when you're ready, chair pose again. Bend your knees, sink your hips, reach your arms fiercely. And then exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway on the in-breath. Let's go to plank and lower on the out-breath. Feet go back, bend the elbows, take it down slow. Rooting through the hands, inhale for cobra. And then exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Right foot steps up, left foot flat. Right here, we're going to come into warrior one. We'll take a few breaths here so you have a moment to actually find it, to root down into the feet, to integrate the center of the body, and to rise, arms reaching high to the sky. There's a lot going on here. The left side body is trying to come forward, even though you're pressing and grounding the left foot back. Yeah, and this is not about perfection of outer form. This is actually about integration of you in relationship with your body. Good to have you back. All right, one more breath. On the exhale, take a flow. Hands go down. We step back lightly and lower, nice and slow. Inhale, cobra pose or up dog, I'm seeing them. And then exhale, downward facing dog, and into warrior on the other side. Left foot steps, right foot flat. That's it. And so assistance, maybe your foot on their back foot to help them ground. That could be something so simple, that could be so beneficial, right? It would help if you took your shoes off just so you wouldn't put shoes on somebody else's mat. Yeah. Chest plate forward, feet rooting down, legs integrating into hips. So we feel that energetic press into earth at the same time that we rise to the center. I bet it's the same guy. Oh wait, could be a girl. Don't want to be sexist, right? Take a deep breath in. Exhale, take your flow. It's just funny to me. I'm not really sure if I ever will get that. Inhale for cobra. I see some of you agree with me. Exhale, downward facing dog. And if you have a car like that, good. More power to you. Right? I just don't get it. I like quiet. Push back just a little more. Feel your legs come alive. Feel that rooting down through the hands. So every time we take an action like that, it's about making space. It's not about going deeper. Let's take one more breath here. And then simply look forward, and we'll bring our feet up to the top of the mat. Do it with some grace. Feet come together, then lift halfway. Inhale. Fold deeply, exhale. Bend your knees, sink your hips. Here it is, chair pose. And then push through the feet, come on up. There's the down and the up. And then we pull it right into the heart. One more round. Inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees, sink your hips. The heat is coming. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on the inhale. Let's go to plank and lower on the exhalation. Just moving with your own breath. Get in your own rhythm. Inhale, cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog into warrior one. Right foot steps, left foot flat. There's nothing you can do here. We're moving too fast. Arms reach. Yup. Exhale, hands down. Step back. Lower. It's called Surya Namaskar. D. Inhaling through the back bend. Exhale, touch your down dog and show me warrior one on the left side. Rise up. Come on up. And then on your exhale, we come right back down. Root your hands, step back lightly, lower with your muscles, nice and slow. Inhale through some grace, back bending, and then downward facing dog. Beautiful. Now you got 5 breaths in down dog. See if you can find a way to neutralize and steady the heart rate and the respiratory rate. We keep our head down and our hips high, and we expand through our arms and our legs. Reconciliation of the downs and the ups so that we can create more space. Take one more breath, pushing back just a little, and then exhale, look forward. Let's travel, feet to the top of the mat. Lift halfway, then exhale, fold. Beautiful. Bend your knees, sink your hips. Here's our chair. We're finishing strong here. And then push through your feet, push through the earth, and rise high into the sky. And then pull the hands right to your heart. Good. Inhale again. The arms go up, but hold here. Hook your thumbs, spread your fingers. We're going to the right just for one little stretch, opening up the side waist and the rib cage. And then inhale, return to center, and feel the same thing on the other side. So it's feeling, not necessarily always doing, right? Come back up to center, and then let your arms go. Good. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Nicely done. We'll lift halfway, but hold here. Soften your knees so your fingers can touch down, and I want you to take a big lunge with your right foot. So we lunge the right foot to the back of the mat and stay on the toes. Root the right hand down into the mat and give me your first real spinal twist. We're going to open up to the left side. Keep the back leg strong. Keep that back knee lifted. Turn the chest open. Maybe your gaze goes up to your thumb. And so we really are kind of holding things together here. It would be really easy to let your hips fall heavy, but what we want to do is get support from the right leg and keep the hips buoyant. Again, it's that lifting sensation. That was a guy. I saw it on the motorcycle, yeah. It's okay. Let's lengthen our spines and rotate just a little bit deeper, and then come on out. Place your hand down, step back to plank and hold. This time we roll onto our left arm, so we are from Vinyasa on the left, facing the right. See if you can find that inner body lift, that buoyancy, that spaciousness. We root down so we can rise a little bit higher. I like what I see. Eyes come down, return to plank and simply lower. You can put knees down or not. There's always opportunities, right, for us to modify and to enhance. And then when you're ready, you find your way to down dog. Let's all take a deep breath. I haven't heard a clearing breath from you yet, so let's just take that whole week of tension and blow it out. Take a big inhale with me, and then open your mouth, let out a sound. Come on. You had a perfect week, no stress. Take a deep breath in. Okay, let's look forward and walk our feet up to the top of the mat. Bring the feet together, then lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, sink your hips. That's it. As your arms reach high up into the sky, start to gaze a little bit toward your thumbs. Set the gaze there, and then take the pose up on your toes. Lift your heels off the ground. Again, just another way to hold your attention, right? When we minimize the foundation, we've got to create that stability from inside the body. Stay high on your toes, but straighten your legs. Reach all the way up high to the sky. Streamline the body. Tailbone down, front ribs in. Feel the core work. Arms reaching high. And then just time it. Your heels come down the same time that your arms reach your sides. Good. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway here and hold it. We're going to soften the knees so we can lunge back with the left foot. It's that big lunge to the back of the mat. And then the right hand stays down. Left hand stays down, and we twist open to the right. It always depends which direction I'm looking. And so again, there's elongation happening before rotation. There's support happening in the middle of the pose. That left leg is going to support and keep the pelvis from dropping. You got this. Root a little bit more through the left hand. See if you can get more access to the right chest. Yeah, you guys look amazing. Look up at the thumb if your neck allows. Some of our necks don't allow, so we look down. Yep, reach high. Reach like you want to touch the sky. And then we come on out. Eyes down, hand down. We take plank and hold. And then it's Vinyasa on the other side. We roll to the right, facing left, lifting the left arm high to the sky. And it's obvious here how heavy the middle can feel. So go ahead, push into your hands and feet, lift the center. Yes, because you can. Because if you find access to that strength, you will feel lighter. And then eyes go down, the hand goes down. Return to plank and lower. Inhale for cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Okay. Let's take a nice deep breath here. Maybe a little sigh on the exhale. And then right foot steps up, left foot stays on the toes for high crescent lunge. Come on up nice and slow. And then open your arms out like a T. We're going to take a spinal twist, we call it water wheel, to the right. Keep working the left leg back as you reach the left arm forward. See if you can have a sense in yourself of where you are in space and time, right? Can we get the crown of the head over the tail? Some of you need to reach back a little more with that right arm. Yes. And not only do we push down and out through the feet, but we pull up and in through our center and hold our heads high here. All right. On the inhale, turn and face forward. Bring both arms up. Stay where you are, but straighten the front leg. Both legs are straight now. A little bit of a challenge. Can you feel that? A little bit of stability issue. We stay high on the back toes. Go ahead, open your arms like a T again. Yep, staying high with both legs straight. Go ahead and twist again. Same side, twisting to the right. A little bit of a challenge here. Work the core. Pull the belly to the spine. Ground through the feet. You got this. Now stay here, but start to bend into that right knee again, and now exalt. Right arm reaches back to touch the left leg behind you, and then we bring the left bicep to the ear, deepen the lunge into the right knee, and take a little bit more twist. Maybe even look up towards your thumb. No? Ground the feet. Slow and easy, turn and face forward, both arms reach. Exhale, take a flow. Hands go down, step back lightly, lower, nice and slow. Inhale for cobra. Yep. Exhale, downward facing dog, recover for a moment. Let all of that energy effervesce out of your body. Head low, hips high, feeling that connection, that rooting through the hands and the feet, and that lifting through the center. There is a way to make yourself feel a little lighter and a little more spacious. We're coming to high crescent, left foot step, stay on the right toes. We rise up. It's hard to time somebody else's practice, right? I got you. And so we come into high crescent, we find our balance, we build that foundation. Purposefully draw your attention into how you're using your feet, legs, and pelvis. And then open the arms like a T and just play with the water wheel. You know we're going to continue to enhance it. So this is the foundational work right here. Can you feel both feet pushing down and out, but feel your legs draw in? Let that leg drawing in sensation help you lift through the belly and start to expand a little more across your chest. Make the pose feel spacious. If somebody doesn't look like they're centered, help them find center, right? For those assistants that are out there doing their thing. And then sweep that left arm forward, bring both arms up, hold for a minute as you straighten both legs. Stay high on the right toes, straighten out your left knee, find your balance. It's a little bit different, right? With both legs straight, just see if you can feel that. And then the arms open again like a T. And with both legs nice and firm, quadriceps lifting and toning, we come back into that twist to the left side. See if you can do it without bending the knees. Interesting, yeah? I'd love to just touch a place that we don't touch every day. Beautiful. Sturdiness, groundedness, head high. Don't be afraid to hold your head up. Sometimes that's why we're off balance, is because we're not centered. Now, left knee starts to bend. Reestablish your lunge and then exalt. Bring the left arm down to touch your right leg behind you and bring the right arm near your ear. So good. There's a twist and a bend. All of it's happening at the same time, and our job as the yogi is to integrate, right? And for me, this right now, this moment, this is a celebration of our bodies, of our health and our well-being. The fact that we can be out here moving and breathing like this in a free society, that we're allowed access to public space to do this and gather, let us never take it for granted. Sweep the left arm up and forward. Take a breath, and then let's take a flow. Yeah, I know, you're ready to come out. Step back lightly, lower slowly. Don't get sloppy if you're fatigued. Slow it down and create more integration. Breathe through your back bend, and exhale as you go to downward facing dog. Okay. Two more breaths. Right foot steps forward, stay on your left toes. Hands come to the sky. We're coming to high crescent one more time, and then please pull the hands into heart center. So here we are in our high crescent lunge, hands at the heart. Let's trust the right leg, give a little more weight to the right leg, and then float the left leg behind us. Vinyasa, the arms come out like airplane wings. Take a moment, see if you can create a little more space. Leg reaching back, heart and head reaching forward. Sometimes it throws us off balance when we get playful and we want to expand. This is nice. Now, can you soften the right leg so you get a little closer to the ground, and then simply touch your right fingertips down. Just touch the ground and then pick them back up. Go ahead, take the left hand, touch the mat, and then bring it back up. Let's see if we can touch both hands down. Then lift both arms up, come to standing, feet come together, arms reach. Good. Hands come to the heart. Smile at the teacher, it wasn't that bad. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, forward fold. These are not the things in life that should make us miserable. Lift halfway, inhale. Let's go to plank and lower on the exhale. There's nothing wrong with a little challenge, right? A little grit, we need it in life to get through everything. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And I promise you, the second side will be a little better because there's some familiarity, right? You know what's coming. Left foot steps, we're coming to high crescent lunge. And assistants, you cannot help them with this. This one they got to do all on their own. Hands to heart center. Press gently into the palms so you feel the center line energy of your body. And then trust your left leg, lean into a little and float the right one behind you. Stay for a moment and then expand your arms. Dikasana. Take them out wide like wings. Now, here's your challenge. Bend your left knee. Get a little lower. Get closer to the ground. And then just left hand touches the mat. Bring it back up. Right hand touches the mat. Bring it back up. Both hands gently touch down. Bring them both back up. Let's come to standing. Bring the feet together. Reach high to the sky. Be so happy both feet are on the ground. And then pull your hands into your heart. All right, keep going. Inhale, arms reach. Feel that cool breeze on your skin. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Lift halfway. Inhale. Let's go to plank and lower on the exhalation. Good. Inhale for cobra. And then exhale, down dog. Right foot steps up. And then take a little step with your left foot. We're coming to pyramid, which is just a little bit shorter stance. And then please come all the way up. Just come to standing. So our stance is a little shorter. Our right foot is forward, but both legs are straight. Chest plate forward. Hands come to your hips. Good. Now, I want you to fold just halfway. I promise your hamstring will get enough. You don't have to fold your head all the way down to your knee. Just go flat back and see if you can feel the feet and the legs grounding you, pushing them back behind you. And then drawing the chest and the collarbones a little more forward. Can you squeeze your elbows and your shoulder blades back just a little bit? So see how that feels. Now, sometimes when we get the upper back squeeze, our belly falls out. Did that happen to you? If it did, pull it in. We definitely want to hold the spine. We want to support the spine. Now, keep pressing and rooting through your left foot, but bring your left bicep to your ear. So you can feel here the push and the pull, the back and the forward. Good. And then that left hand is going to come onto the right shin. Left hand onto the right shin. Think about that. Left hand down, and then we twist open to the right. There's a rooting sensation that comes from the left hand on the leg. And see if you can still feel that feeling of lengthening the spine. Assistants, you could stabilize somebody's hips for them. So you hold the hips, you squeeze a little bit on the medial glute. And see if you can help them get a little better twist. All right, now a little bit of a challenge. Can you keep reaching your right arm high to the sky, but could you bend your left elbow and put your left hand on your heart? Keep working the twist from your core. Breathe. Twisting your chest out to the side. And then nice and slow, release your left arm down, your eyes down, put your hand down, and then soften that right leg and step your feet together. Step at the top of the mat. Soften both knees. Let's come into a little toe squat here. Bend your knees, release your hamstrings, right? Hands come to heart center. And this can be used as a moment to root to rise, Or if your body needs a rest, you fold your body towards your legs and bow your head humbly forward. So does your back need a break, or do you feel energetically alive inside? What is happening for you in this moment? There's always options, and there's always ways that we can individualize the practice and honor ourselves. All right, from here, let's all lift our heads, bring our hands to the heart, and we'll rise into chair pose. So we push the heels down, we stop halfway, we feel strong and mighty, and then we push through the feet, come all the way up, and then hands to heart center. One more flow. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold, breathing and moving, just honor the breath. Lift halfway on the inhale. We'll go to plank and lower. Do it with some mindfulness. Use your muscles, not momentum. Cobra on the inhale. Downward facing dog on the exhale. And we create pyramid on the other side, right? And so it's left foot stepping up and right foot taking a little step, shortening the stance, and then coming up to stand in it. And very often when you come to stand in it, you have to change things up a little bit. You might need to widen your stance. You might need to lengthen your stance. Make sure the back heel is down. You'll feel much more stable if both feet are on the ground. That's it. And then both legs are straight. You can feel the muscles hugging the bones. It's not very different than the first pose we did today, where we push down and out. The arches of the feet lift, the lateral borders ground. We're facing forward, and then we're simply putting the hands on the hips and taking that half fold. That's it. Here's the opportunity to feel the legs push back and the heart pull forward. Lift your elbows, squeeze the shoulder blades, and make sure you continue to hold the belly to the spine for support. We continue to engage that core so that we can lengthen and stabilize and create that buoyancy, that support that comes from inside of us. Now I want you to keep pushing back through the right foot, but reach the right arm forward. Accentuating the forward and the back, staying grounded, and then right hand finds its way to the left shin, and we create our twist. As you start to turn the chest open, you realize it's limited, right? We try to reach our arm up high to the sky. Yep, and we're reaching through that left arm, opening through the left chest, grounding through the feet. You can stay exactly where you are. Keep pushing down through the right hand. It'll give you that little extra twist. Or you could try to float it, right? That would mean taking the weight off of your right hand, maybe touching the heart space. And breathe. It's interesting, right? To unplug one piece and have to hold that inner core support. Good. Release the hand down. I love you guys for trying. Let's release both hands. Look forward. Left knee soft. And then please step your feet together. Come down into that little toe squat. Breathe. Hands at the heart. Choose in this moment to lift the pelvic floor and keep the crown of the head rising, or choose to put your hands on the ground and bow your head forward as you rest your belly onto your legs. What works for you? There isn't one that's better or more advanced, and there isn't one that's wrong or bad. Just honor yourself. Going to rise. We're going to come through that chair pose just like we did on the first side, all the way to standing. Reach for the sky, and then bring your hands to heart center. Good. Inhale, arms reach a little slower. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway. Hold right here. Soften your knees and take that big lunge back with the right leg. This time, put the right knee down. As soon as your knee touches down, move both hands to the inside of your left leg. And then take a moment to give yourself a little more space. Maybe wiggle the left foot closer to the left edge of the mat. And maybe the right knee can slide back a little bit further. And then really gently start bending into the left knee and see if you can come a little forward into your hips. Now I want you to stay on your hands. So we're not going to drop to the elbows. We're going to stay on our hands, but we're going to walk the hands a little bit toward the front edge of the mat. So we're just elongating the pose a little bit. Walk the hands a little bit forward. Yeah. You can even go a little bit further if you want to. Everyone's going to find their own place. Maybe you can extend the arms fully out in front of you, but we're not going to drop onto the elbows. We're going to use the arms for support. We're going to keep that buoyancy in the pelvic floor and that lift. So sometimes when we lay out onto the elbows, everything drops out. And I want you to kind of hold as if your legs were pulling into your hip socket. Squeeze your left knee into your side body. Yeah, squeeze that left knee into your side body. Press a little into your left big toe. Alright, now walk the hands in. Go ahead and turn your left toes out. As you turn your toes out, you can roll on the pinky edge of your foot and let your knee drop open. Be sure you come forward for me. Bend the front knee. Yeah, that's it. Now let that left knee fall open. Doesn't that feel better? A little hip opener. That's it. Now there's a beautiful twist here. Left hand can go on the left knee, or left arm can reach high to the sky. And so again, we find ourselves in a rotation and extension. There's a beautiful back bend happening too. So if it feels good, draw the head back slightly. Remember, you're rooting down through the right hand. There's no sinking into the right shoulder. There's no sinking in the pelvis. Things are lifted, lifted, lifted. Yes. Let's take one more breath here. Yeah. And then eyes down, hands down. Let's straighten that left leg. Go ahead and tuck your right toes. And we'll step back to plank pose. Woo! Big step back. I saw that. That was energetic. Okay, go ahead, lower down slowly. It'll feel really good to come back into your alignment. Neutrality. Inhale through the back bend and exhale into down dog. So nice and simple. Just when you're ready, you're going to walk your feet up to the top of the mat. So we'll start that at the same place. Feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale and fold. Just for shits and giggles, go ahead, bend your knees, sink your hips. Show me chair pose. Yeah, I think we got a little bit of like loosey-goosey in that last one. So like feel yourself pull it back together. Push through the earth, reach to the sky. And then hands come to your heart. Good. Last one. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold. We lift halfway and we look forward. Now soften the knees. Left foot takes that big lunge back. Yeah, as soon as it goes back there, put the knee down. Start to open your stance a little bit. Sliding the left knee back, opening the right foot out to the edge. Yep. And then root down and pull in a little bit through the pelvic floor and start walking your hands forward. Keep the gaze forward. The body just feels a little bit longer. The arms are straight and we're walking them out in front of ourselves just a little bit. Yeah, it feels a little weird, right? It means you can't drop out from the bottom. You gotta hold it together. Squeeze the right knee into the right side body. Press a little into your right big toe. There's a fierceness about this integration. There's a big stretch. So we're feeling into our flexibility and our strength at the same time. This is how yoga works. Start walking your hands back in. As you get them in under your chest or shoulders, you can turn the right toes out, roll on the pinky edge, and now you start to feel into that hip rotation. Right knee opens wide. Keep the right knee bent so you're forward as you do this. Now let the knee fall open. And there's a twist, right? So you could put your right hand on your knee. Yeah, you could reach back and bind with your foot. You can express this pose any way that you like. I like to actually add a little extension, like draw the head back and just feel into the spaciousness that we can create in our bodies. It doesn't have to be contortionist, it just needs to feel good, right? Breathing and moving and seeing what the possibilities are. Take one more breath. And then the eyes come down, the hands come down. Recenter the right foot and then tuck your left toes. We step into plank. That's a moment. Feel it. Reorganize your body and then take your flow. Super slow this time. Inhale for cobra. And then exhale, down dog. It's your last down dog of the morning. So enjoy it. Feel it. Pay attention to it. Feel all of the ways that your body is expressing and expanding. And then when you're ready, come into a seated position. That's it. When we do assisting, we speak with our hands, right? So we come into a seated position. Meet with the assistants, come into a seated position. Anywhere you like. If it feels right, if it feels appropriate for you, go ahead and close your eyes. And then just see what bubbles up for you in this moment. The practice has a beautiful way of stirring things up energetically, emotionally, physically. And then all of a sudden we drop into the stillness, and my hope is that it gives us a chance to feel, to meet ourselves exactly where we are. And we could be seeing the best parts of ourselves. Maybe there's a subtle shift in the dialogue, that inner dialogue. Maybe you just feel blissed out and you want to get lost in the music, you know? This moment of stillness can mean something different for each and every one of us. But just allow it. Try to just be in it. Doesn't feel right to close your eyes, then just soften the lids and look to the space right in front of you so you can minimize the distraction of the world moving around you. A gratitude moment that this is our actual first official practice of the summer, and it's not that bad out. It's cloudy and you can feel a little bit of coolness in the air around you, right? For those of you that are going to stick it out with me all summer, just let's remember this moment, right? Let's go ahead and unfold our legs. Go ahead, take them out in front of you. Plant your feet onto the ground with your knees bent. Yeah. And then just take your arms and just wrap them underneath like you're hugging the back of your legs. And you can just round your back and let your head down, just kind of stretching the spine. Having that bend in the knees makes it not so much about your hamstrings. And if you want it to be a little more about your hamstrings, keep the arms wrapped behind the legs, but start straightening the legs out in front of you. Something nice about having the forearms under the knees when you do the forward fold. Or you can choose to keep the legs bent. And everyone can find their own range here. That's it. one or two more breaths, just again, just staying connected to you where you are. Presence. Then we'll gently start to slide our arms out and bend our knees. As your feet return to the mat, start to lean back and reach your arms forward. Root down a little bit through the heels. And then interlace all of your fingers, everything but the index. And this tends to make our shoulder blades widen, so we tend to like round the upper back, and I want you to squeeze the shoulder blades back and lift your chest. That's it. Just breathe. So the feet are grounded, and then lean back just a little bit more. See if you can hold the form. Again, it's us finding that inner strength, being able to hold and support the spine right in space. Because we're strong enough. Now, just a really little bit, turn to the right. Notice how the obliques grab in on the waistline. Soften that face. Try to do this with some gratitude, right? To do it with some grace. It's unbelievable how much grace we get from our strength, right? So we embrace this. Come around to the other side. The knees are bent. We're so strong. We're holding it together. I promise you in a moment you're going to be able to let it all go. One more breath. Twist a little more on the exhale. Yes. Return to center and then lay yourself down on your back. There's the letting go. Lay yourself down. Let your head down. Let your legs go straight out. Taste the stillness. Taste the sweetness of the rest. Then we'll pull the right knee into the belly. As the right leg comes in, extend out long through the left leg. So there's a balance, right? A balance to the practice. A push and a pull. And then let's make that into a spinal twist. The right leg is coming over to the left side, wringing out any tension that may still be in your body. We're working our way into the stillness for sure. So try not to over effort here. Let this be a little softer. Let there be a little bit more awareness to the movement of your body when you're breathing. And then you roll yourself back to the center. Switch your legs. Right one comes down long, left one comes in. There's a little push and a little pull. And that all helps balance the pelvis. And assistance here, you can help kind of push one knee in or remind them to straighten the extended leg, right? That would be something that you could do to help. And then we turn that into a twist. Left leg goes over to the right side. And of course we can help with a twist, right? That would mean one hand on the left shoulder, maybe one hand on the left hip, and elongating their spine. And for all of you that are in the twist, soften it a little bit. Let it be a space where the breath can move freely. Nice and easy. We return to center. Pull both knees up and into the belly. One last stretch, loosening up the lower back. And then coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. Go ahead and let the feet back down onto the mat. Turn the soles of your feet toward each other and let your knees drop open for a moment. And I see how some of you are doing some other movements, and if there's something your body's calling for, by all means, you enjoy that. So we'll take a moment in Supta Baddha Konasana, again preparing for the stillness that's to come. Left hand comes to the heart, right hand to the belly. A tuning in moment. Where you can just feel for the heartbeat beneath your hand, your breath moving beneath your hand. energy of the full moon, the summer solstice, the longest day, the most light that we will see for this year, and International Yoga Day. I can't help but think about the oneness of all of it. Each breath you take is an exchange of life force energy with everything around us. It would be so nice if we could remember as humanity to share a little bit better, right? Like we do with our breath. No one gets greedy, wants to hoard the breath, give it out freely. There is atmosphere, which is then air, which is then breath, which is then prana, and it's keeping you alive. And then we take that life force energy and we send it back out through our breath into the air and into the atmosphere, which means we are not separate from, we are one with all things. Go ahead and release your hands down by your sides, your knees come up to the center, and then slide your legs straight out. So we've had a little practice in the stillness, and now we just get to be. Something mystical and magical about what we do here, and that we don't do it in a bubble or in isolation. You can stretch and move any way you like. Eventually, you bring yourself back to that seated position. So, how are we? We okay? Alright, so this moment, this transitional moment, I know that while you're in the practice, you are so attentive. I know that you are giving me all that you got, and you're giving yourself all that you got. But as we make this transition from our practice to our day, can we do it with the same level of mindfulness? Could we bring this level of attention and awareness and consciousness to all of the things that we do today? Like choices about food and who you spend your time with, and how you drive in the car, and your attitude of friendliness toward other people. Like, could we continue the yoga? Please. This amazing thing that we do every Saturday is at its most powerful when it rises in you, not on the mat. So this week, until I see you again, see if you can look for moments where your yoga comes alive in you, and you are not doing triangle pose or balancing on one leg. But that you feel that present and alert and that focused, that open, that gratitude that wells up in you. See if you can find it come alive in your life. For me, that's why I do this. It's not just for the workout on a Saturday morning, I promise you that. That's good, but that's just at the beginning. The gifts of the yoga are so abundant if you allow it to be. And so this week, start to pay attention. Hold it precious. Let it be expressed in you so that the people in your life feel it. Let's bring our hands together at the heart. And in celebration of International Yoga Day, the summer solstice, the full moon, our gathering, our vibrant and beautiful community, and our own healing, let us make the beautiful and sacred sound of Om. Take a deep breath in with me. Shanti, 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 He. Om, peace, peace, perfect peace. Loka samasta, Sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. May the actions of my life and all of our lives somehow contribute to that happiness and that freedom for all, so that we may continue to celebrate this practice, so that we can continue to use our yoga for good. We continue to grow and evolve and change and connect in the best ways. That we have the courage to confront the darker, more shadow-like sides of ourselves, and we bring them more into the light. As we move through this period of time this year full of light, allow the brighter, better parts of yourself to come through. Don't be afraid. How dare we not shine, right? How dare we not shine? That is not my line. That is Marianne Williamson. She's brilliant. I thank you for coming. Happy Saturday. Namaste. Namaste. Namaste, everyone.